So what does it mean by abstract keyword, right? So abstract means that exists only as an idea, right? Not as a physical thing.
Hmm.
What does then
Okay.
it means? That it does not exist as a concrete thing, right? It exists as an idea.
Hmm.
Oh, I think we haven't even gone through what is a class and what is a object. Can you difference between a class and an object? Then we will come over here, abstract and normal.
Okay.
Tell me, what's the difference between a class and an object?
Um, a class is a place where we can write the methods.
Okay, class will have class elements, right? And class elements are variables, methods,
Yeah.
constructors, instance, and static block. Cool, obvious.
Hmm.
But we don't need
Hmm.
what is class and what can be written in class. We need the
Hmm.
difference between class and object. You are
An
defining
object
class.
is an object is a um we use objects to call the instance uh, elements, instance block elements. For accessing the instance,
See,
if you want to
this
access
this this
anything,
statement does not make sense. Instance block element. First thing, instance block is different thing in C.
instance area.
Yes. Area. Okay. Cool. Now area is better. Cool. See, the thing is, again, you are telling about how to access an object or instance area elements, instance area class elements. How to access instance area class elements. You are not answering what's the difference between class and object.
Actually, there is no I mean, class and objects are completely different things.
Okay. So
Uh,
give me difference.
uh, a class holds the our five elements, class elements. Instance and this object have just constructor and
Okay, okay.
a
Wait, wait, wait,
reference
wait.
variable.
No, 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 no. Object have constructor and it has five. No, no, that's not how it goes. Cool. See, the thing is, when we declare a class, right? I
Hmm.
declare a class student, right? Let's suppose I have declared a class student. So
Hmm.
what will happen? I have created a class student, right? A student.
Hmm.
And but if I do student Rajiv equals to new student, right? And
Hmm.
if I provide the constructor with values, the name if Rajiv, and then age will be 5. Cool. If these two things are there, right? So I have created one object, Rajiv, right?
Hmm.
So this is an object. So what happens when we say that a student will have a student? Okay, let's write a student class. It's just temporarily. I'm going to delete it later. So this is a student. We will see the private string and the name, right? The private, then string, and then let's remove the roll number, roll and the number, and let's take it a string as well. Doesn't mean roll number can be different. We can take integer double and some other thing as well, but it can be different. So string is better option for now. So let's suppose this is a class that we have created, right? So
Hmm.
and you want some getter setters are also methods, right? These are also methods, right? So we can even have the okay wait we can even have the constructor as well, right? Okay, let me just remove this one and let's take another constructor which have both, right? So now we have constructor, we have methods, we have variables, right? We just don't have instance and static block, right? Let's
Hmm.
assume, right? Okay, let's write them down, right? Empty static block, empty
Hmm.
instance block, and empty static block, empty instance block. Cool. So now this
Hmm.
class is having all the class elements. Cool.
Hmm.
But the thing is, the class is one thing, right? Class is an entity. Like let's take an example that when you want to build your house, you go to the architect, right?
Hmm.
And then architect designs your house in pen and using pen and paper, right?
Hmm.
Or it will in today's age. Okay, let's take an example of pen and paper only. The architect will design your home in pen and papers, right? Using pen and paper. It is
Yes.
not right now when you see your house on pen and paper. It is not existing in real life, right? It's on inside the pen and paper. It's on the pen and
Hmm.
paper only. So on
Hmm.
inside on the paper only, sorry. So when you provide the material, right? When you provide the material, when you provide the land and material, then eventually the
Hmm.
builder will build the floor, right? Builders will
Hmm.
make your home, right? So
Hmm.
the the your design on the paper which architect has drawn will be the blueprint, right? On which
Yes.
your house is made, right?
Hmm.
And using that particular, if let's suppose your house is of 5 400 square yard, and your neighbor is also having the same area, and your neighbor likes your home and approach the same architect and says that okay, I want the exact
Hmm.
replica to be my home as well. So what will
Hmm.
the architect do? He will take out the same paper he used for you and
Hmm.
give it to your neighbor, future neighbor,
Neighbor. Hmm.
and using that particular blueprint of the home, he will give to some contractor, and he will ask some people, and then they'll start the building home, and they will be able to build it, right? So
Hmm.
the paper that you have, the paper that architect has in his hand is of
Hmm.
no significance, right? Until you provide them with land and the material, right?
Hmm.
Only with land
Yes,
and
sir.
material it will the home will be built, right?
Hmm.
Without it, it's just a blueprint, right? Same is with the
Yes.
class. We have
Hmm.
written a class over here, right? It is nothing, right? Because there is no value in the
Hmm.
name and this thing, right?
Hmm.
But when we do, okay, let me make a runner. So when I do student, oh my bad, student equals to new student, right? So even let's name the student Rajesh for now, Rajesh, right? So if I name the student Rajesh and give some, okay, string roll number 1234, right? So now what we are
Hmm.
doing, I'm providing him the property, and the new keyword is the property dealer in the heap, right? So
Hmm.
I'm giving the memory. So memory is the land in the property dealer example, right? So new keyword
Yes.
will provide the land or the memory, right? So
Hmm.
we get the land, right? Now we
Hmm.
want the material to build home, right? So these values are the material
Hmm.
that will be set on the land, right?
Yes, sir.
Because we get a land and we put the bricks and all those things, the materials on the land. So we get the
Hmm.
memory using the keyword, and we put the data on that particular land or particular space that we get, right? So this
Hmm.
is how we create a home. So this is how
Hmm.
we create an object. And the
Hmm.
same object we can create the same blueprint. The student is class is a blueprint only, right? With the same blueprint,
Hmm.
I can make the Ramesh as well, right?
Hmm.
Ramesh, okay, Ramesh, Rajesh, and then Ramesh. It will be confusing name. So let's name Rajesh, Suresh. Let's name him Suresh. Okay, so now Suresh we have created, right? With the same
Hmm.
blueprint, right? So a
Hmm.
student, if we declare a class, it is nothing because it is not
Hmm.
occupying any space. When we create an object out of it, then only it becomes an entity, real life entity. With class, it's
Hmm.
nothing but just a blueprint. So class is the blueprint, while object is the manifestation of the object, right?
Hmm.
Cool. Now understand between object and this thing, and then see, I have never used a single word, or like I never utter a single word regarding the class elements, because
Hmm.
blueprint will also have the same number of class elements, right? And the
Yes,
object
sir.
will have the same number of class elements. There
Hmm.
will be no difference between object and classes on basis of class elements. Because if the blueprint is
Hmm.
having 5 rooms, 3 toilets, and 2 balconies, then the object will also, the home will also have the same number of rooms, balconies, and washrooms, right? So
Hmm.
there
Yes,
will
sir.
be no difference in those things. Cool. Let's
Hmm.
remove this. Now this means that you haven't gone through the oops notes, right? Because if you go inside the oops notes, okay, oops. So see, class. Okay, class. Okay, class. I think somewhere in the notes it is, but is a class and all those things. Mm, okay, difference between class and object. Class and blueprint class is acquiring, no. Class is able to hold, no. Class is able to hold, no. Class is always fun class, always no. Class auto class, okay. Abstract modifier inheritance, no. Cool. So not here, somewhere in the notes you will find we have given the differentiation of these two as well. Okay. Directly inheritance is there. I mean, if you, I mean, I'll text you. I mean,
Okay.
I have written in somewhere abstract. Okay, no. Then interface. I don't think interface. I have that interface of class. Okay, no. Then first class is of what is class variables. Again, we started directly. Blueprint, yes. See, class versus object, right? In the variable nodes, we get it, right? So class is a logical entity. It contains logic. As object is a physical entity. It represents the memory, right? Class is a blueprint that decides the object creation. Without class, we are unable to create the object, right? Based on a single
Actually, I
blueprint.
read this, but I couldn't remember exactly when you asked. Actually, I read this,
Okay.
uh,
I mean, I'm
but
not
I
saying that
couldn't remember.
you can access or you can go and read it online as well. But the thing is, this is very basic question, right? Class versus object. So it slipped my mind to go through this. So over here it was important, so I asked you. Cool. Okay. Let's go back to our main topic. You understand this, right? Difference between these two things.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Both are same. It's just object is just a blueprint, and the objects are the logical entities, right? Logical entities for the coding part, right? Because everything is logical.
Methods. Okay.
And notes. Okay, Rajiv. Okay, cool. Let's remove this. So where were we? Okay, abstract. So see, what is abstract? That exists in our
In our
brain.
idea,
That exists only
but
as an idea, but not as a physical thing, right?
yes.
So when you have an idea, but you don't have, I mean, it don't have a concrete. I mean, if something exists just as an idea, like for example, let's suppose that I want to create abstract keyword basic. Okay, let's suppose I'll delete this again later. Let's suppose I wanted to create something, like I have some idea, right? Like let's create a Swiggy, let's create a Swiggy Figgy. Let's try to create a Figgy, right? Figgy is also online aggregator, food aggregator, right? And delivery, and online food aggregator and delivery platform. Cool. So I would know that, okay, I have this public void, and then what I require to create a food delivery business, right? So I need to take data from customer, right? Take data from restaurants, right? This is the one thing, students, right? This is the one thing, right? This should be one business thing. Another thing would be public void show data to users, right? This is the second thing. Third thing would be public void take payment from user, right? Fourth thing will be public. We are guessing that we have already enrolled our delivery agents and we know they are in our systems. So void notify delivery partner notify delivery partner, and then public void update outer status, then review, right? There can be many things, right? That we will take review, public void take, okay, delivery partner review VIW, and another thing will be take restaurant review right? So we have written so many things, right? If we try to see that we have written 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7 methods or
Hmm.
the crucial items for my business for the food aggregator and delivery system. I've created these 5 items, right? But the thing is,
Hmm.
right now I don't know how to implement it, right?
Hmm.
There can be different ways, and while my company, in the starting, there might be a chance I will use a single server, right? I don't need microservices.
Hmm.
So there,
Hmm.
if I'm starting my business, I can create the data, create the front end using the JSP, right? And can
Hmm.
create uh, I can create the data from JSP and can create the backend in Spring only. Let's suppose that I know already Spring, then I will use the Spring only, right? So what will happen?
Hmm.
Right now I have written these things that are important to me, right? But still these are in
Hmm.
concept, right? I haven't designed any the database structure. I haven't designed. I haven't designed the high
Hmm.
level system, that how the data will flow, which server I will be using, and all those things. Not which columns will be there, how many columns will be there, how I'll reach the data, and which will be the APIs that I need to create. I haven't think of anything, right? So these thing is
Hmm.
just in the idea, right? That we need to do this thing. How we will going to do that, we don't know, right? So we
Hmm.
don't know the logic
Yes.
right now. We just know that okay,
Hmm.
we want to do it, but we don't know the logic.
Hmm.
But the thing with the Figgy right now is that if I take a random runner again, so what will happen? My Figgy is not created right now, right?
Hmm.
But if I do the Figgy equals to new Figgy, right? And
Hmm.
I'll say Figgy, and then show data to user, then Figgy, take data from restaurants, and then okay, take data from restaurants, then show data to user, then let's suppose just deliver, take delivery partner review, notify delivery partner, Figgy, deliver partner, update order status. Cool. So right now if I run this, right, then let's suppose, let's write one more thing, right? Sys out, okay, my bad, sys out, not implemented. Cool. So if I write this and this and this, cool, and
Hmm.
if I update the code again and run it again, then every time I'm getting not implemented, right?
Hmm.
And let's
Yes.
say that okay, in future I have implemented the take uh, this thing,
Hmm.
data taken from restaurants, cool,
Hmm.
and let's say order taken from user, right?
Hmm.
And then let's suppose now I run it, right? So what will
Hmm.
happen? Data is taken from the restaurants, order is taken from the user, but the payment is
Hmm.
not implemented.
Hmm.
And let's suppose payment is not implemented, and we go and notify the delivery partner, right?
Hmm.
Delivery partner notified. Cool. If I run now again, then what will happen? These three methods will run, but the payment is not implemented. So what will happen?
Hmm.
I will tell the delivery partner to go to a XYZ restaurant and try to take some order, right? But I'm not taking the payment. Then my system is
Hmm.
broken, right? I won't be able to run a firm which don't take payments, right? And selling the
Hmm.
food.
Hmm.
So this thing is very bad for the business, right? So there should be
Hmm.
something that will stop the usage of this particular method, or
Hmm.
should stop the creation of this particular class, right? So that's why there
Hmm.
is a keyword which is known as, and right now we don't have the way to implement this thing, right? To take the payment. So
Hmm.
there is one way. If you don't know
Hmm.
the internal logic, it is just in your idea, and your idea is not concrete right now, you don't have the implementation of it as well, right? Even though if you have an
Hmm.
idea as well, even if you know the implementation logic as well, but you have not implemented it, right? It's just inside the
Hmm.
idea, you haven't implemented it. You know that okay, I will, okay, cool, not here. Okay, you have idea that okay, I will integrate with the PayPal, and the PayPal will take all our payments, but you haven't
Hmm.
implemented it, right? You need to make sure that you have your bank account, and then you need to have a sales team, then you need to contact the PayPal team, Then
Hmm.
they will come, they will see, you need to integrate with them. Your development team will integrate this PayPal API. Then they will do the certification, then they will give you the live credentials, and then you will be live, right, with the payments. So till then, your taking your way to take the payments from the user will be just an idea, right, that I will take the payment from user. But till then,
Hmm.
you won't be able to take it, right? But if you provide the default method to use it, then what will happen? It will just print it and nothing else. Cool. So
Hmm.
it should not be even started. So what you can do, you can write the abstract keyword with it. So what does abstract keyword
Hmm.
means? Abstract keyword means that you don't have the logic, right? Where you write the
Hmm.
logic in the class, right? You like
Hmm.
write the logic here, right? This is the body of a class, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Let's suppose if you don't have the logic, right?
Hmm.
You don't have this thing. Cool.
Hmm.
So end it. How we end things? With colon, right?
Hmm.
We end the lines with colon, right? So you
Hmm.
don't have the body or the implementation logic, so end it with the colon, and then it's not allowed, right, in
Yes,
method,
sir.
because it is required. Then you can add abstract keyword over here. Oh, you can add the abstract keyword over here. Cool.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then it is public abstract, right?
Hmm.
Then again, the thing is, if I try to run this code, then it will give me an error. Why? The reason is I'm trying to create an Figgy class, and
Hmm.
one of the logic in Figgy class is not implemented yet, right?
Hmm.
So if this logic is not implemented, its object cannot be created. Like for example, we have seen that object, we are taking the object in class as in a blueprint of a house and creation of an house, right?
Hmm.
So if we haven't haven't done with the logic of how we are going to build a certain section of our home, right? So till then we should not start the creation of the home, right?
Hmm.
Because let's example, if I want my front yard to be xy in xyz stuff, there might be a chance that my my drawing room size we need to reduce, right, for that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if
Yes.
I'm not done with my idea or my design, then there might be a chance I need to break it again and then do something else. It's going to
Hmm.
take more time as well and more resources as well, right? So
Hmm.
same thing happens with an object as well. If your blueprint is not ready, you're not going to
Hmm.
make the home. It's simple as that, right? If you
Yes.
don't know how you want your terrace, then you won't start with your basement, right?
Yes, sir.
There might be chance the basement will look something different and your terrace will look
Hmm.
something different. I mean, from a house perspective, it might be, you'll say okay, how basement and terrace is linked with each
Hmm.
other. But if you go in some good countries, even in India also, now the buildings are having swimming pools in their top
Yes.
floors. So the
Hmm.
office that I'm working is also they are building the largest pool in India. So at
Okay.
32nd floor, they are creating a pool which is even larger than the pool in Singapore. Singapore
Okay.
is also having the largest pool. Singapore, top floor, largest pool. See images. If you see this thing, see
Hmm.
this thing
Hmm.
visible. This
Yes,
entire
sir.
thing is like this, which we are seeing
Hmm.
at the top. This thing is pool, entire pool it is, right?
Hmm.
So in India, also in Noida, Al-Fatam, okay, Al-Fatam Bhutani top floor pool in India. So see, this is I mean, it is not created yet, but this
Hmm.
is Tower B over here in 25th floor. I work. It is not
Okay.
prepared yet right now, but they are creating a pool over here as well.
Okay.
And this is the old structure. Right now, they are building two floors beside this as well. So there might be a chance that they will extend this pool to diagonally as well. So
Okay.
this see this thing I am telling that these three floors they have created, but
Okay.
this they are also creating, right? So at the top right
Hmm.
now it's not built completely, so they are building it again. So
Hmm.
to
Okay.
make sure that we are making this, so they need to make sure, right, how they are creating the basement, because the load will be over here more, right? So they need to know
Hmm.
how many floors will be there even to create the basement. So this is all
Hmm.
one things, right? So same thing goes
Yes.
with this. So if I want to make an object, I need to make sure that its blueprint is completed, then only I will be able to
Hmm.
get the
Oh, oh.
start the working, right? Start the work.
Hmm.
So it won't allow me, it won't allow, and if I able to create an object, then I will be able to use its method, right? Because its logic will be, if I have the object, I will be able to use this object, right? So
Hmm.
let's
Yes.
suppose I'm not done with an toilet, and if the home is constructed, and then
Hmm.
I want to go to the washroom, then there will be nothing over there, right? So
Yes.
it won't make sense. You should not consider the house done until you are
Hmm.
done with the blueprint, because there might be chance you want a larger washroom, then the
Hmm.
space is left. So making alterations is bad. So Java don't allow this. So if
Hmm.
you are making an method abstract, right? So
Hmm.
what you need to do, that means your implementation is not complete for this particular method, right? So
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
if your front lawn is not completed, if the blueprint of your front lawn is not completed, that means we can safely say that our house is not completely our the blueprint of our house is not completely created, right?
Hmm.
We can say it, right? So not
Yes.
just our lawn, but our house blueprint is also in a state of, it is still in,
Uncommon.
is in abstract state, right? It's not finalized, it
Hmm.
is still in
Hmm.
the
Yes. Hmm.
which state?
Abstract
Yes,
ideas.
it is still in the, okay, as it is is still existing as an idea, we haven't implemented it
Hmm.
as in house right now, right? So same thing goes with this. If my method is an abstract method, right? See what's the error we are getting, that does not override abstract method. Figgy is not abstract, right? But it's saying Figgy is
Hmm.
not abstract. What is Figgy? Figgy is our class name, right?
Hmm. Yes.
So what will happen if Figgy is not an abstract class, right? I'm saying that Figgy, Figgy's logic is done, right? Figgy's blueprint is completed. Then
Hmm.
only I can use directly public class and Figgy. And if Figgy's blueprint is completed, then if the house blueprint is completed, then it should not have anything abstract, right?
Hmm.
Abstract means that it is not existing, it is existing as an idea, right? Its
Yes.
its blueprint is not completed. So I need to
Hmm.
make my class also abstract. Cool. And
So
then
if a method is abstract, we should also make the class abstract. Is
yes,
compulsory.
yes. See, I mean again, if my home is not, if my front lawn is not completed, then my complete house blueprint is not completed, right?
Yeah.
So
But anyhow, it will throw an error only, no? So
when,
even if we didn't make our class abstract, also it throws an error.
no, why it won't throw an error
No,
now? Are you looking at
if we
this thing?
no. Even if we didn't add the abstract class in line 3,
Okay, yes.
if you're running this code, you're getting this error, no? That class does not override abstract method.
Yes. I'm getting, because the same reason I'm telling you, because I have declared something abstract, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So see what is happening. Let's, okay. See, one thing, let's make clear that if my blueprint of house is not completed, we are not going to give the contract workers to start working, right? We are
Hmm.
not going to say that okay, start working, right?
Yes.
That thing
Yes.
is still
Hmm.
placed, right? So see
Yes.
what's happening with the Figgy class is that inside this runner, we are saying the constructor workers, okay, start creating the house, right? So
Hmm.
this is the house, right?
Yes.
Figgy is the house, and then we are using the house amenities, right? So
Hmm.
if we haven't, and over here, okay,
Hmm.
take payment, okay, update order status. So take payment we haven't used, but if see if like take payment, take payment from user. So take
Hmm.
payment from user, this thing, like suppose this is the washroom. So if we haven't even
Hmm.
created the washroom, then how we can use it? We are saying to use it, right? So
Hmm.
we cannot
Yes.
say, we cannot ask people to create our home until we are done with our design, right?
Hmm.
So we are, what we are saying over here, that new keyword, please buy the property for us, and then we are creating then object out of it, right? We are creating, we are buying the property, and then we are starting the work, right? So we
Hmm. Yes.
cannot say that okay, start the work, start construction in my home, right? We cannot create an object until unless we are
Hmm.
done with the blueprint, and we are not done with the blueprint. That's why we are getting the error. because we are not done with the
Hmm.
blueprint. And the thing is, and the error we are getting is that Figgy is not an abstract, right? It means that it is not an
Hmm.
abstract class. And another
Hmm.
thing, and does not override the abstract method. This, what does it mean?
Hmm.
That because this method, if I inherit from a parent, right? If Figgy is extended by some other class, right? If Swiggy extends
Hmm.
Figgy, then Figgy will get
Hmm.
this abstract method, right?
Hmm.
Then Swiggy needs to override this method. Then only
Hmm.
it will be able to handle it. So what it's trying to
Okay.
tell that Figgy is not an abstract class, and it does not override the abstract method as well. This
Hmm.
thing it's saying. So if my one section of my blueprint is not completed, that means my entire blueprint is not completed. So I need to mark it also abstract, right? And if I mark my class
Hmm.
abstract, what benefit I get is my constructor workers won't be able to start the work, right? So now
Hmm.
the error is over line number this, that Figgy is
Hmm.
abstract cannot be instantiated, because
Hmm.
abstract classes in Java are not allowed. Object creation of abstract classes is not allowed in Java, because abstract classes declare that the blueprint is not completed, right? And if the
Hmm.
blueprint is not completed, then we cannot create an object.
Hmm.
Are you understanding this concept?
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Yes, I understand.
So if I don't know the implementation of a method, I will declare it
Hmm.
abstract, right? And if
Yes.
I
Hmm.
don't know the implementation of a method, I don't want it to be used, right? And
Hmm.
if the object is created, then there is no way
Hmm.
to stop the calling of a particular method. So I
Hmm.
need to stop the even the creation of the particular object, right? Because object
Hmm.
creation without the implementation does not make sense. Go to the
Yes.
washroom and don't build a washroom. How will someone go to the washroom, right? So,
Hmm. Hmm.
so that thing is important. So what Java has done, they have provided a keyword abstract, right? So
Hmm.
abstract keyword I can give when I don't have the implementation logic of a thing, right?
Yes.
So
Hmm.
implementation logic can be of anything. It can be of a class, entire class, because class has an element, right? And the only thing that has the business logic is method, right?
Hmm.
And two things, that instance block and static block.
Hmm.
These things cannot be abstract, right?
Hmm.
So
So,
let's see one more thing, that in a Figgy class, let's see that if I have a public private int a equals to and not equal to, right, private int a, right? Can I use abstract with
hmm.
it, right? It makes completely no sense
Hmm.
to write public abstract a, right, and not
Hmm.
initializing it. So if you don't initialize it, then also it's cool. If you don't know that you want to use it, then remove it, right? Why do
Hmm.
you even add, right? It doesn't make sense. So
Hmm.
one thing with the abstract is, and if you know that you need to use integer, if you know do not to
Hmm.
use string as a name, then you can leave it there as well, right? And if you're not using it, you can remove it. If you're using it, then you directly use it. It does not make sense to write a variable and then mark
Hmm.
them as an abstract, right? Because eventually the business
Hmm.
logic will be methods only, right? And whatever your business
Hmm.
logic requires, if you know the business logic, you will be aware that which math variables you require, right? Because business logic
Hmm.
works with the variables data only, right? Then I
Hmm.
cannot write the abstract keyword with the variables. The methods we have seen
Variables.
we can use. Then what's left? We are left with the constructor, right? Again,
Hmm.
if you know the business logic, then you will know what variable you require, and you know what variable to require, you will know what variables to instantiate, right? So
Hmm.
if I try to add abstract over here also, then again it makes no sense, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
the instance block and static block are just to initialize the instance variable, right? And if you
Hmm.
know how to what variables you require, then you know what should be the default values to initialize them with, right? Then again abstract
Hmm.
does not make sense with the blocks as well. So that's why in the node section we have seen that the abstract keyword works with only classes and methods, right? We
Hmm.
don't with other things. Cool. So
Yes.
let's end our session